Hi, Zero fanatics. Today I'm going to be touring Museum Neurotica. It's the biggest museum of revertible illegals that currently exists on T. It's pretty fun. It was made by me, Thori Paranormal Shrimp, and the world downloader, like the schematic for this place, was supplied by one of my 2B friends who originally planned on making this on 2B Tutti, but then if no, but then dispensers, like using dispensers to view illegals, was patched in the update, so we never got around to it. Now we have this. And so I built it on 0B, which is fun. I'm gonna first start up here, which you can see has my name in pig spawners, and they spawn pigs, which is really laggy. I'm gonna turn on no render, and we have an end portal here with more pig spawners on it. These guys were placed up here because we couldn't place them in these little holes. As you can see, they're replaced by gray stained glass in the world download. That's because these pig spawners would count to the tile entity limit, and having them spread across the entire base would reduce the amount of would reduce the amount of shulker boxes and item frames we could have at the base. So we instead put them all in these chunks, because if I fly down here, these chunks don't have anything important in them. They're just filler chunks where you like walk around. So ooh. And then we have an end portal up here because I was bored. I was originally hoping more people would write out their name, but then the bypass got patched and no one else wrote out their name. So not good, not good. Now if we fly down to the entrance, this entrance is genuinely beautiful. I loved building this. If we fly all the way over here, the first thing you'll see is this massive fountain. You can see that there's a wither up here that says the antonym backdoor is real. That's not a real wither name. That was made by me during the IC backdoor, whereas your BOP had given me access to every single NC color except for black, underline, strike through, and a couple others. You'd think he'd be up here in this little cage, but no, he's actually in this cage down here. The reason for that is because if we tried putting him up here, it'd be really hard to like put up this double thick bedrock layer. That layer was originally there so that his wither skeleton heads wouldn't like phase through and break other blocks, but instead it isn't. So he sometimes, I think you saw me patch it up earlier, he sometimes just breaks through, he like does this, and then we have to come by and we have to go, oh my goodness, we have to fix it up. It's really annoying, but oh well, it's how life goes on 0t.org. In here, we also have an end portal. This end portal was originally going to be lit, but the wither would slowly fly up into it, and then he'd go into the overworld. And because 0b doesn't allow for entities to go through end portals from the overworld, or from the end into the overworld, it instead get deleted. So, we didn't really want to delete entities, so this wither stays here now. Over here now, oh, up here actually, I'm gonna show this first. Over here we have a massive 0B0T logo, and this logo is actually fully made out of bedrock, like it's completely filled with bedrock. If I fly in through the top here, this place it's fully filled with bedrock. It's super fun to be here. It was super fun to make this because I got to like walk around with with printer on and just go ham. This was originally added. I think there used to be a 2B2T logo here, but like we're not playing 2B2T, so instead it's a 0B0T logo. Hooray! Here's the shulker boxes of all the bedrock that we used. Down here, that I used. Down here we have an end portal. This room was originally going to be the signboard. We're going to have signs over here, but then no one placed a sign, so my sign's just on the end portal, and then no one placed their sign on the end portal. So, it just looks like I'm the sole person here. But yeah, this is just an end portal. Ooh, end portal. Secret backdoor end portal, oh my god. Now, if I fly all the way over here and take a right turn from where I entered, you'll see pop up just about now is the bedrock comet made out of end portal frames. This was super fun to make. I made this on my laptop with my trackpad. It took me like an hour, but it was really fun to make. It came out beautifully. I love how it looks from afar. It's just like, damn, bro, beautiful. This is the original bedrock comet on 2B, but like all this decoration was on 2B. It's just here now. And then on the other side is the original bedrock comet, made out of bedrock, not like end portal frames, not like command blocks. If I can fly all the way over here. Yeah, right here we have a bedrock comment. This is here because like you have a backdoor. The first thing that you do is, or well, no, you have a way to place bedrock. The first thing that you do is you place a bedrock comment. It's like this is the rite of passage for anyone who has the ability to place bedrock or super illegals. You make a bedrock comment, and then um, oh yeah, that's it. Those are all the, well, not all of them, but that's the majority of the place super illegals at this museum, because this museum is meant for the items, which we're gonna tour right here, right now. These items are organized with the individual item up here, and then full shulker boxes of each item down here. So, for example, these are all the revertible items, or no, these are all the revertible armor and tools on 0B, except for this one. This just has protection 0. I don't know why it's here, but if you ever want a protection 0 chest plate, it doesn't revert. Down here, I have all of them in a chest place. I'll just scroll over them. This chest doesn't exist on 0B. I don't know why I would do that. As you can see, this one has my old username on it. It's the 0 click duration sword. It gives you 1.8.9 PvP again. Whoa, look, oh my god, slash summon zombie. It's pretty fun. The reason it has my old username is because I stole it from one of my old stashes, which is where the majority of these items come from. They either come from Paranormal Shrimp or Thori's old stashes. So, for example, we have Bedrock back here. This came from Thori. Actually, the majority of these super legals came from Thori, except for, no, all of them came from Thori. All of them came from Thori, and there's one zombie stash. I love Auschwitz. So yeah, these are full shulker boxes. Over here we have bedrock item framed, and we have bedrock in a full shulker box. Bedrock and full shulker, like a full shulker box of bedrock, is extremely rare to have. I think I'll put an image up of my alt account that has used bedrock in its ender chest. That's because shulker boxes of these items were really hard to obtain because they were almost immediately patched after the backdoor, and you couldn't put them back into shulker boxes. You had to have them item framed. But because of the chunk dupe, you could have them item framed, you could chunk dupe them. You just couldn't put them in shulker boxes. So yeah, this stuff, like, absurdly rare. Like, not many people have this. And we have full shulker boxes that are really super illegal that was spawned in. So for example, we have raw item frames. They're just item frames without any enchantment. Over here we have the sharpness 1 item frame, or sharpness 1 end frames. Originally, these were 32Ks. They reverted a long ass time ago. I know one person that has these unreverted, and his name is TNT Power. But every single time I asked him to log on to 0B to check if he still had them, he wouldn't. So we never got 32Ks at this place. I asked Transfer Objects, I asked Night Runner, I asked TNT Power, but none of them had 32Ks, or none of them wanted to log on and show us the 32Ks, which is mad annoying. Like, I would love to have 32Ks at this base, but instead we're stuck with the Infinity Grass and Infinity Egg. That's like good enough, I guess. Here we have the original spawners in 1.20. These don't have any mob data, so placing them down, they won't be pig spawners. They'll just be empty, which is kind of annoying, but I don't, like, who cares, dude? Who's going to be placing down pig spawners in 1.20? Because it ain't me. I wish it was, but it ain't going to be me. Here we have I didn't show this. Here we have a full shulker box of them. Over here we have the sharpness. No, we have the Curse of Vanishing ones. These also came from the back door. Ooh, they have Curse of Vanishing. These ones are fun. Over here we have command blocks. If I didn't point this out, but down here we have placed versions of all the super illegals that we have on display. But as you can see, we don't have command blocks placed. That's how you know that this was just a way to place down super illegals and wasn't a way to actually backdoor the server. Because if it was a way to backdoor the server, I would have command blocks everywhere at this place, dude. I would have a command block for /kill IE. I'd have a command block for everything. Then last but not least, we have the 0 NBT spawn eggs. These I have to manually recreate because they don't exist on 0B anymore. Like the 0 NBT spawn eggs, during the flattening, as you can see, spawn eggs would change from having the NBT data, the entity they would spawn in the NBT data, to just having it be the item name. So here I have Evoker spawn egg, Axolotl spawn egg. Instead of saying spawn egg and then in the NBT, you could see like, oh, does this have, oh, NBT get. Instead of here being like, oh, I want to spawn in a ghast or something. Oh, I want to spawn in nothing, which is what the spawn eggs originally were on 0B. But there aren't any more spawn eggs that spawn entities, so we couldn't put those here. Those just don't exist. So I had to manually recreate these in the world download. Over here, I have the gas spawn eggs. These are the original gas spawn eggs. These still spawn gas if I place this down. Let me turn. Oh, yeah, these still spawn gas slash effects. Give infinite strength, infinite 255 false. True. Hey Val, you need to get out of here. These are really fun, but the thing is, they would log in the console every single time it tried spawning a ghast. So it was like really obvious that someone managed to place these down and have them loaded, because no one placed these things down. I don't think there's any place on Zero B that has these placed. We never placed them because we were afraid, but we should have. And then down here, let me middle click all these, are a bunch of stacked items. So like here we have stacked versions of the Infinity Sword, the attack speed swords, that's what I'm gonna call them. Here we have stacked versions of the unbreakable elytras. Here we have stacked versions of the unbreakable pickaxes. Here's just my kit that's all unbreakable. Ooh-wee. Or not on. This is a version of my kit, but everything's stacked. Most of the items here are illegal, so like you see, these have sus. This one has sharpness. This one has looting. This one has sharpness. This one has sharpness. A lot of these have sharpness. This one has sharpness and curse of vanishing. These just have these totems are leaked. I leaked these totems. Everyone has them now, which is fun. This has sharpness 1, curse of vanishing. This unbreakable. And then here, this is the most fun part. We have 0 NBT. I'll just place this down. This is the wrong thing. This one. I have 0 NBT arrow. Like these normally revert. Paper normally reverts these things, but if they have extra NBT, like an enchantment or a name, NBT get. So here we have the curse of vanishing. We have curse of vanishing, and it has a custom name. Because of that, these don't revert. You can hold these all you want, which is like super fun. I love having these. Setting a break. Here we have a recreation of all the stacked armor on 2B. This one's fun. I like this one. And then here, last but not least, we have a bunch of stacked items that are vanilla, so these don't have any names, don't have any enchantments. Just a bunch of illegally stacked items. So yeah, stacked items. That's all of them. We can't really put them in item frames, and in 1.12 there was a module that would let you see what was inside a shulker box that was in an item frame. That got patched in 1.20. Like Minecraft no longer sends that NBT. So you can't really see that these are stacked, but they're stacked in my heart, man. Here we have the Infinity Egg and the Infinity Grass. So these /summon zombie. These guys, if I hit them, they instantly die because these do an infinite amount of attack damage. This one actually multiplies your attack damage by 10, I think. Let me find it. Generic attack damage. No. Yeah, here. Amount 100 damage. This would just either add or multiply your damage by 100. But like nothing is surviving. Oh fuck. Broken block. Nothing's surviving a hit of like 100 damage. I think. Let's see if a giant survives that. Actually, I never got to test this because we couldn't summon giants. Do you die instantly? Oh, you do. Okay, yeah, nothing's surviving that except for like the Ender Dragon and the Wither, I think. We could test that out actually. Let's go kill that Ender Dragon or that Wither. Hey, buddy, oh pal. I know I'm not meant to kill you, but like, what if I did? Okay, nothing survives that hit, so pretty cool. Nothing survives that. So basically a 32k, and then we have the Infinity Grass, which obviously makes your attack damage infinite, which is it doesn't revert. It does revert, but nothing survives that. Here we have the God Potion. These were enabled for like the first week of These were enabled for like the first week of 1.20, so these aren't as rare as they were anymore. But like full shulker boxes of this stuff, they were. If I do this. Oh wow, pretty fun stuff. Here, this one, oh my god, I love this one. This is the original Unbreakables on 2B, so the ones that had a fucking like really high amount of fuck, I can't speak. These are the items that had a really high amount of what is it called? Durability. They had 32,767 durability on them, so you could use them 32,000 times and they wouldn't break, which is really fun. We had them set up properly so that if regular unbreakables, like the ones we had over here, reverted at any time, we could use these instead. So, like, we have multiple item frames, we have multiple dispensers and droppers of them. I opened all these because they don't exist in 1.20 anymore. So, we have everything set up here. And, it was really cool, but Mojang removed over durability items, so these don't exist anymore. I'll put a screenshot up right here, right now. I have a carrot on a stick that has negative 2 billion durability, the 32-bit integer limit, because negative durability items don't revert on 0B right now. What? They don't? Yeah, they don't. So I have a negative durability carrot on a stick, which is super duper fun. Oh, fuck, I took this off from taking the war mode. My bad. Here's my favorite part. These are stacked, or not stacked. These are, fuck, you can see they're enchanted versions of all the super illegals. So we have an enchanted version of the spawn eggs. We have an enchanted version of the end portal frames. So like enchanted, all this stuff's enchanted, which is super fun. These were made by colliding these swords, these unbreakable swords, with the following items. They took forever to make. I reverted so many pieces of bedrock by accident trying to make this for the first time. But I eventually got the hang of it, It's all me. All this was made by me. No, I think Paranormal Shrimp made the spawn eggs. But I had to recreate them in the world download, because, 0MDT spawn eggs, even if they had enchantments, they don't exist in Minecraft anymore. So, fun stuff. Fun. Then, that's everything for this side. These are all the revertible items we have here. Over here now, we have more revertible items. Oh my god. Here we have the dispensable backdoor. Originally, when colliding, or when hashes were first innate. Oh, I haven't explained hashes, have I? Okay, what happened was I found a bug where if you had an anvil with oh, I don't have it saved. If you had an anvil, I don't have IB. If you had, I'm getting sidetracked, dude. I have so much to talk about. If you had the anvil or any other of the items that had every single enchant in Minecraft, you put shulkers of those into a chest and you rapidly open that chest, anti-illegals would bug out because they had to manually check all those items, which were like a good 2 kilobytes in size. And then after checking them, it'd have to manually go through each and every single enchant in that list to be like, oh, these have these enchants and those have those enchants. These are, oh my god, they're so they do these things. No way. Oh, we have to check every single shulker box of every single enchant, and it'd lag out anti-illegals to the point where either the server would crash or you'd get kicked, and everyone in the surrounding area would also get kicked. So to patch that, one of the devs at 0B, one of the developers, they made it so that if you had an item and another item had the exact same hash as the first item, he basically introduced cryptocurrency to 0B0T. The way cryptocurrency works is that every single, I actually don't know if that's how it works. Every single transaction ID has a hash connected to it, and to mine crypto, you need to solve those hashes, crack those hashes. And the backdoor, in quotes, was essentially the same thing. You'd use these hashes to get a hash code collision of a revertible item. So let's say I had bedrock, and this bedrock's hash was 88, If that was the hash for this bedrock, I would get a piece of dirt, and I would rename it to an anvil. I'd rename it to 88, right? And so if I touched this item, the anti-illegals would go, oh, you touched this item that has the same hash as bedrock. But since this item didn't revert, this bedrock probably shouldn't revert either. And it would let you place and do whatever you wanted with bedrock, which was really fun, it was really easy. It was basically crypto mining, so for a good while I had to set up my PC to become a crypto miner to make all these, but it was fun. the inverse of this, instead of saying an item was clean and that you could do whatever you want with it, if an item had to revert, but it reverted into something, like this sword, it has every single enchant, but it's unbreakable. When I touched this sword, it would tell every other unbreakable sword with this exact same name, these exact same enchants, hey, I'm this sword with these enchants. Oh, what the fuck? I'm this sword with these enchants. If you have the same hash as me, you should turn into this sword with this enchants, you know? So if I, again, had a piece of dirt and I said that this one's hash was 66, you know, and I renamed this piece of dirt to, oh fuck, if I rename this piece of dirt to 66, what would happen is that if I touch the sword first, it loses its unbreakability. It'd go, hey, if you have the same hash as me, you should turn it into this sword with these enchants. And I touched this piece of dirt, it would become enchanted as well with these exact enchants. So if I fly over here, that's how like these illegals were made. It just took a longer time because command blocks also revert. You had to make a hash to tell the command block with the enchants that it wasn't to revert, and then you have to rename it because it'd take over the name as well. If this was named Antonym's Unbreakable Sword, the command block initially would be named Antonym's Unbreakable Sword. It took a while. These, if you can see, have level 1 enchants. You might be thinking that's impossible. What we did is we just made a piece of stone that had the Unbreakable Swords enchants and had the name G's Unbreakable. No, had the name G's something, right? Just G apostrophe S, so that renaming was slightly easier. But because of that, because the stone, once you revert a piece of stone that has Unbreakable 3 on it, on 0B, it turned into having Unbreakable 1. All of these items now have Unbreakable 1. I love it. I think we do actually. I lied. I loved it when I made a piece of bedrock that had all these enchants maxed out. You'll see it in a little bit. But, we did that. And that's a very quick, wordy explanation to how hash colliding works and how we used to make all this. Another caveat to that, I'll teach how you made the stacked illegals, is that an item with NBT that a regular item couldn't have was attempted to be hash code collided. Paper would go, hey, you can't have this NBT. You better not do anything. And the item would go, okay, I won't do anything. But it'd take its stack size and its damage value. So here, if I had a shulker box, let's get a shulker box down. If I had a shulker box, like game mode, survival, I place down the shulker box and I mined it. It'll have a piece of NBT. This NBT is a block entity tag. Now, obviously, something like a piece of, I don't fucking know, something like a sword can't have a block entity tag, because this is a sword, it's not a block, so can't have the block entity tag. So when you would revert a shulker box, let's say the shulker box had Unbreaking 3 on it. If I reverted this shulker box to have Unbreaking 1, and then I touched I touched an acacia fence that had the same hash as this shulker box with Unbreaking 1, this acacia fence would not take anything except for the damage values of the shulker box. And because in 1.12, I can't speak. Shulker boxes, this is a bad example. If I were to touch a fucking, I need to figure out, if I were to touch a book, if I were to touch a written book, so if I were to sign this and this was stacked to 16, this obviously has book NBT. So it has pages, it has title, and it has author. Because all items on 0B, or not all, no other item in Minecraft other than book and quills can have this NBT, paper would go, wait! You're not a book, pal. You better not take any of this NBT because it's invalid NBT. This is to patch that 32k book exploit, You can't have that damned NBT. So when I would attempt to write this NBT to something like a sword, like a stone sword, it would only take the stack size and the damage value of this book. And it would turn into this sword. A bug with this is that it takes the stack size, obviously, so you can create stacked items without having any enchants on them, which is super cool, which is how this shulker box is made. And you can make stacked items that keep their original NBT, which is how these items were made. I had a sword with the lore sus on it. I ported it over with a stacked, I don't know, book. It was a firework. If I show you here, oh, they removed it. No, they removed it. I'm so sad. Fireworks in 1.12 creative menu didn't have the flight duration NBT, but they were meant to have the flight duration NBT. So when you would revert it, paper would go, oh my goodness, this is supposed to have flight duration. Or was that anti-illegals? That was anti-illegals would go, oh my goodness, this is supposed to have flight duration. Even flight duration 1. So it'd have the hash code of like, oh, I'm supposed to have flight duration 1. Please revert into having flight duration 1. And because of that, any item that you would hash code collide with these fireworks, they would get the stack size, the damage value, and the damage value and the stack size, and it'd get ported over, which is how we made these fully stacked. That was really long. I tripped over my words so much. But that's how we made these illegals. That's how we were able to move these illegals, and that's how those illegals were created. You know, the stacked illegals. Finally, I'm going to move on to these things. These are the dispensable backdoor. During the first part of anti-illegals, like not the first, when during the first, in the olden days when anti-illegals was first added, we created these. No, when hashing was first added to anti-illegals, the only NBT containers that were checked were furnaces. So if you had super illegals in a dispenser and then you placed down the dispenser and then you got a flint and steel and a piece of TNT and you blew up the dispenser, what would happen is that the super illegals would drop, and this was a way we could move super illegals without them reverting. But then someone on the 0v0t dev team decided, hey, what if I made all containers revert properly, you know? Every single container should revert. So these, we couldn't do anything with them. But, you know, we have them here. We have a full shortcut box of them down here as well. It's pretty fun. Over here we have, this was the first illegal we ever created. This one, I have history for you. This item is the unbreakable chest plate all the way over here. This one. It was this unbreakable chest plate with fucked up lore and protection 4 on it. Fucked up lore is because I world downloaded it and I to recreate these because I accidentally reverted one of them, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, I reverted all of them when moving them here. Turns out I didn't, and I punched all of them out of their item frames by accident on the world download, and I fucked up making the lore. Oopsie daisies. These do exist on 0B though. I'll put a screenshot or a video of me moving these item frame. These were the first illegals we made. What I was doing is I was using a fucking God damn, I'm dumb. We were using, I was using an elytra to move around this unbreakable chest plate that I had in an item frame at my base. And what happened was I accidentally put on the chest plate and reverted it. And I was like, oh, god damn, dude, I reverted it. What am I going to do? And so I swapped it with this elytra, which reverted the elytra. But as I put it on, it turned it into the chest plate with the chest plate's NBT data on the elytra. Shocking, I know. I made an illegal. Oh my god. So this was the very first illegal we made on 0B. We meaning me. I made this illegal. I say we as a singular pronoun too much. We have them on armor stands because armor stands currently don't revert illegals on 0B. I'm not joking. Go put all your unbreakables on armor stands, like right here, right now, because they won't revert. And then down here, this isn't world downloaded, but I have a dispenser with them as well, just in case they ever stop reverting and I get to dispense them onto myself. Yes, quite fire. Past that, full shulker boxes. Then past that over here, we have a bunch of dispensers, and as you can see, a couple super illegals. These, I'm going to show you, this is a shit ton of dispensers. Same reason we had the dispensable backdoor, the exact same reason, except these are like, oh, these are so much fun to make, dude. I wish they didn't revert. You know, we have full dispensers of super illegals. These revert on 0B for some reason. Plus NBT containers don't revert, but the items inside plus NBT containers, unless they're a furnace, do revert. So much fun. I love 0b0t.org so much. I'm bad. No, but We have full dispensers of these. You might notice that this one, the G's laced weed dispenser, and the Come On 1,000 Femboys potion, both of these are leaked. I have an earlier version of this dispenser leaked where it's only the top 9 and it's named Come On 1,000 Femboys. I hate that name. Hate that name so much. These are named G's God Pods. I have both of these on 0B. They're really fun to use. I also have this. I originally planned on having a full shulker box of these, but it took too much effort to make. So I kind of just put them in the 9 and put them in the dispenser and collided the dispenser. You know the deal. This was before we learned that we could stack shulker boxes and revert them and all that. So basically, these items are these items are just the original shulker boxes you would have seen over here, stacked and sent to a dispenser. Except for this one. This one I manually made myself by having a piece of bedrock down here. I reverted the shulker box that it was in and moved it to a dispenser. And so we had a dispenser with stacked totems. This still exists on 0B. I made this. This still exists on 0B, 0T. I still own it. Haven't leaked it yet because it's a fun item. Like, I want to have the private totems. But these do exist. This dispenser does exist. And here I have a full shulker box of all of them. I'll go through them really quickly. Really fun stuff. Here we have the dispensable backdoor again. And yeah, we have them in item frames up here. And then these don't correlate to anything. Like, here I have to recreate these again, right? I recreated them. Oh my god. These don't correlate to anything. They're kind of like fucked up. I just thought it was a nice design. And you know what? It is a pretty nice design. Back here, we just have the 2 bed and armor furnaces. Did you know that this armor furnace is a full kit and has an infinity mending bow? You can't take it out, but this is unreverted. So you can have 2 unreverted illegals in your ender chest with this illegal. You know that? Infinity mending bow. How cool is that? This doesn't revert on 0B because the code that's used to revert plus NBT furnaces will only check these 3 items because these are the only 3 slots that it can check. But everything else in here does exist. So, unknown ender chest inventory. Why is it saying that? But if you for some reason want to, if you somehow figure out how to get these items out of this furnace, you get an infinity mending bow for free. And then down here we have full shulker boxes. Since these don't revert on 0B, 0T right now, anyone can get these. These aren't rare anymore, which is sad, but who cares, I guess. Finally, back here we have the 2 last of the stacked illegals. Here we have Dahlia's Blendable. This was made for the wife. She asked for an illegal, and I was like, okay, I asked her what illegal she wanted on 0B, and she was like, I want... Give me my blood in a bowl. So I used beetroot soup and I stacked it because beetroot soup can't normally be stacked. I'll get 2. Look, they can be stacked. These only stack to 1. It doesn't show. These only stack to 1. So stacked super illegal. And down here we have Ethereas's sussy unbreakable armor. The original plan for this was when Etherville was coming back. Ethereas was saying like, I'm gonna bring back Etherville. It's gonna be so good. What I was going to do is I was going to convince Kepter to leak me the coordinates or TPA me to Etherville, and then I was going to go like 1,000 blocks over, hide this in a shulker box, then get Kepter to take a screenshot and send it in the Etherville Discord and be like, what the fuck? Ether has backdoor? Ether's still OP? Right? And it was going to be LARP. Super funny LARP because like it was sus armor, And then Ethereas's computer died, so I was never able to. Me and Kepter were never able to do this. And so I put these in item frames here in hopes of Etherville ever coming back. And then the backdoor got patched, and Etherville hasn't come back since. So, it was kind of useless to spend the hour that I did making these, but I did make them. They're in the item frame now. Whoa. They're not actually unbreakable. I don't know why I named them Sussy Unbreakable Armor. These guys are not unbreakable, but LARP is LARP, I guess. LARP is LARP. That's everything we have at the museum. This originally was going to have way more items because we made a bunch of revertible items, but the backdoor got patched and no one really had the motivation to continue working on the museum and moving all the obegles. I was really the only one who did, and even then it got boring after a while, so I never did. I never finished this museum. This museum is a piece of unfinished art, I guess. Back here, you'll see this was originally where we planned on having the super illegals. Like you can see, this is slightly more fancy. You know, we have like stained glass panes here instead of just glass panes. But yeah, I never did that. We never put them here because this is just where the bedrock comet is. This is not where the entrance is, so it was kind of useless to have it over here. So I guess these are remnant. I broke the pig spawners here for fun. I wanted to show off to Thori and VC when we told him. I was like, look, I'm gonna break these pig spawners, and I placed them, broke them again. It was fun. It was fun. We spent a lot of time working on this museum. We, meaning me, Paranormal Shrimp, and Thori, we spent far too long making this whole museum, moving all the illegals, placing all the illegals, and then someone decided to leak. You know, he just decided, oh, I'm gonna leak this place, and then he did. He leaked the place. So this place will forever remain unfinished on Zero B, I guess. I'm not gonna move more illegals unless like a new backdoor comes by. Unless like Zero B OP gives me owner, then I'm gonna move the illegals. I'm gonna make a new museum, but past that, nothing's gonna happen. This place will exist forever until Pixelated Braden decides to grief it, because Pixelated Braden sucks and I hate him. This was my version of Waterloo, I guess, is the easiest way I can say it. It has all the super illegals you could ever want. It has a bunch of placed end portal frames. You have an end portal somewhere like down there, which wasn't in the world download, but you know, super illegals. Oh my god. It was so nice. It was so nice living here. You know, it was awesome. But all good things must come to an end. The person who leaked it, who shall not be named, because I just don't want to give him more attention. He leaked it. We patched it. We meaning me. I told the owner. I told like Crane or something because he's the only developer that I like talking to. Fuck Ozama for the win. Fuck Sue Stratter. Fuck Thundercloud. They all suck, dude. I hate those developers. But, you know, you have this place. This place is history. Zero T history. So yeah, if Collab ever decides to make a video on Zero B, I'm helping him tour an unfinished version of this museum that we have at a different location, dude. I don't care, dude. I'm touring him around this place. This place is awesome. I love it. But yeah, that's everything we have, I guess. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. And I hope everything that you do in life is awesome sauce and amazing. Ka-chow!